Imagine baking cookies on a stormy winter night, your house warm, your fire crackling, and then you notice something small has moved, something that wasn't supposed to move at all. Winter has a way of making houses feel safer than they really are. Outside, the world turns cold and violent, snow melting into freezing rain, thunder rolling across the sky like distant artillery. Inside, firelight dances on the walls, and the smell of fresh cookies promises comfort. Mabel Wright believed in comfort. She believed in routine. On that particular winter night, she sat curled into the corner of her sofa, a thick novel resting in her lap. The fire crackled beside her, casting golden light across the living room. Rain lashed against the windows, but inside everything felt contained, protected. The storm was someone else's problem, or so she thought. The oven timer rang suddenly. Mabel jumped, startled enough to drop her book. She laughed softly at herself, bending down to pick it up before heading into the kitchen. The smell of chocolate chip cookies filled the air, warm, sweet, familiar. She carefully removed the tray, setting the cookies out to cool on the dining table. 6 chairs surrounded it. She always kept it set neatly, even though she rarely had guests. She returned to the living room and paused. Her book was gone. She frowned. She was certain she had placed it on the side table. Assuming she'd absent-mindedly returned it to the bookshelf, she checked. Dozens of novels lined the shelves. It wasn't there. When she turned back toward the sofa, her breath caught. The book now rested neatly on the arm of the couch, not where she left it, not where she would have put it. She stared at it for a long moment before shaking her head. "The storm's getting to you," she muttered. She sat down and reopened it. Crash! The sound exploded from the kitchen. Mabel shot to her feet again, heart racing. Maybe the neighbor's cat had slipped in. It had happened before. She hurried into the kitchen. The window was closed, locked. Nothing was out of place. The cookies sat untouched. Then, creak. Long, slow, heavy, from the bedroom. Mabel froze. The bedroom door was shut. She reached slowly for the knife block on the counter and pulled one free. Her socked feet moved silently across the hardwood floor. The house no longer felt warm. It felt occupied. She reached the bedroom door and pushed it open quickly. The light from the hallway reflected in the mirror beside her bed, her own reflection jumping back at her. She exhaled shakily. Get a grip. She turned on the bedroom light. Nothing. Empty. Just wind outside. Back in the kitchen, she decided tea would calm her nerves. Chamomile. She poured boiling water into a mug, but when she reached for the tea bag, it was gone. She blinked. She had just placed it there. The jar slipped from her trembling hands and shattered on the floor. As she knelt to clean it up, something caught her eye. A dark liquid, slowly seeping from beneath the dining room door. Mabel stared at it blankly at first. Maybe wine. Maybe spilled paint. Then the smell hit her. Metallic. Thick. Wrong. Her entire body stiffened. Blood. It was blood, pooling onto her pristine white rug. Panic finally broke through her denial. She grabbed the kitchen knife and rushed for her phone. The screen was smashed. Dead. She grabbed a landline. No signal. The storm had cut it. She turned toward the bathroom, the only door with a lock. And that's when she saw him, standing in the bedroom doorway. Tall, long black hair, blue eyes that didn't blink. He smiled.
Not wide, not dramatic, just pleased. Mabel screamed and ran. Her socks slipped on the hardwood floor and she fell hard. The man laughed. The sound was worse than shouting. It was delighted. He grabbed her ankles. She kicked, clawed, screamed for neighbors. But the storm swallowed her cries. He dragged her across the floor, through the dining room doorway, through the blood. And then she saw the table. It was set beautifully. 6 chairs. 4 were already occupied. She tried not to understand what she was seeing, but she did. Her neighbors, arranged grotesquely, watching her, or at least positioned as if they were. She was pulled into the 5th chair, tied down tightly. The man moved around the table casually, humming, like a host preparing for dinner. He placed a large silver serving dish in the center. Steam rose from it. The smell made her stomach turn. He took his seat at the head of the table and began talking to them, laughing, responding, as if they answered him, as if this was normal, as if this was Christmas. He leaned close to Mabel, inhaling softly. "Pretty girl," he murmured almost gently. Her tears streamed down her face. The fire in the living room still crackled. The cookies still cooled. The house still looked warm from the outside. But inside, it had already become something else. Something final. And somewhere beneath the thunder and rain, the porch swing began to creak, back and forth.